Sweet. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Look at us doing a live stream, not in the evening, but actually in the middle of the day. What's happening? Atma Namaste, everyone. Atma Namaste, Christian R. Long, Life Enhancement Consultant, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Tuesday afternoon. It's around 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Hey, Michael in Denver, Colorado. So if you're actually watching this stream live, there's a good possibility you're a business owner or you're unemployed or you're independently wealthy. So those are basically the three different options. What's up? Everyone's getting back to me through Facebook Messenger. So I actually removed, how many? I removed 97 people from my Facebook, my friends list, right? So Facebook has a limit of 5,000 people that you can have as your quote unquote friends. So I went in today and removed about 97 of them because a lot of those people had no profile picture. So they're like phantoms. They don't exist. They don't add value. They don't take value. They kind of take value because they're not allowing me to welcome other people who are interested in coming in on the stream. What's up, Sharon? Or coming in on my Facebook account, because I have people that are like, hey man, I tried reaching out to you. And I couldn't because you're at the 5,000 person limit. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. There's got to be people who don't even exist that are creating, a blockage to this person who's interested in connecting. So went in, spent about 20, 25 minutes removing 97 people. A lot of them phantoms. Some of them, wasn't really feeling the vibe. Know them from back home, whatever. What's up, Arlene? Atma Namaste. So I want to jump on real quick. For those of you who do not know, tonight, that's right, tonight, Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., we're going to be doing the live Twin Hearts meditation. The live Twin Hearts meditation. What's up, Rebecca? Atma Namaste. And that's going to be from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. We're going to do what the Twin Hearts meditation is and how you benefit from it. We're going to do some simple physical exercises, simple breathing exercises, the actual meditation, and then some Q&A at the end, and then I head out wherever I am at the time to go dancing for tonight. So I want to jump on and give a little talk on something that has really fascinated me over the past 18 years of doing spiritual work and being a meditation teacher, and for 13 years being a professional energy healer. And I learned this from my teacher, Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui, the founder of Pranic Healing and Arhatic Yoga. He said that spiritual teachings are hiding in plain sight. Spiritual truths are hiding in plain sight. So what do I mean by that? How many of us, you could raise your hand, feel free, how many of us have been to a Chinese restaurant before? I've been to Chinese restaurants all over the country. Like New York City Chinese restaurants, and then Tulsa, Oklahoma, middle of nowhere Chinese restaurants. I've been to all kinds of Chinese restaurants. Mountain town Chinese restaurants. And the funny thing is, the food pretty much tastes exactly the same. Rebecca is raising her hand. All right. What's up, Maya? I'm looking forward to dancing with you tonight, girl. Hope you're doing well. So a lot of us have been to Chinese restaurants, right? And what do we see at the Chinese restaurant register? Sometimes we see fish. Sometimes we see little prosperity trees. Sometimes we see the little cat with the hand and the coin in its mouth, or the frog with the coin in its mouth, right? We see these different kinds of things. What's up, Jilly? Right? Karina, Atma Namaste. You were just messaging me. Kevin, Atma Namaste. Welcome to the live stream. Join in on the fun, yo. So we see all these different things at the register of a Chinese restaurant, right? And then some of it is some Chinese characters that if you know Chinese, you know what it says. If you don't know Chinese, it's just Chinese, or it's all Greek to you, right? But have you ever seen at the register of a Chinese restaurant a fat Buddha with its hands above its head like this and sticking its tongue out? Have you ever seen that before? A fat Buddha, big chunky belly, red robe, his hands above his head with little sandals on, and he's got, what's up, Janka? And he's got his tongue out like that. Have you guys seen that before at a Chinese restaurant? I bet you have. Now, is that little Buddha, that little fat Buddha at all the Chinese restaurants all over the world? No. But if you've been to a few Chinese restaurants, I can almost guarantee you that you've seen that Buddha in front of you. Now, what's the significance of that? What's the spiritual nugget or spiritual truth that's hiding in plain sight with that Buddha? Well, that laughing Buddha, as it's known, is one of the most powerful techniques to rapidly and properly cleanse your energy body. You guys hear what I said? So the laughing, what's up, Odette? The laughing Buddha technique is one of the most powerful techniques to properly and rapidly cleanse the energy body. So there's an entire branch of yoga, I mean not original yoga, it's a modification of yoga called laughing yoga, right? Where a bunch of people get together and they put their hands above their head. What's up, Tatiana? They put their hands above their heads and they just go, and they do that for 5 or 10 minutes. And at the end of it, how do these people typically feel? You would know, right? When you're getting together with your best friends and you're having a great time telling jokes, telling funny stories, laughing hysterically, maybe attending a comedy show, how do you feel at the end of the comedy show, at the end of spending time laughing with your friends, at the end of time doing something fun and joyful? How do you feel? You probably feel pretty amazing, right? You feel light, you feel clearer mentally, emotionally, you feel calm, almost even like, wow, I can't laugh anymore. Like I'm all laughed out, right? So that's an example of the laughing Buddha technique in action. It's extremely powerful. Now, there are many levels and layers of teachings to the laughing Buddha technique. I am not going to give you guys the technique because it is, and it has been for over 1,000 years, a guarded secret, a guarded technique on how to rapidly and properly cleanse the energy body. It's super, super powerful. If you attend any of the classes that we do connected to pranic healing or meditation or practical spirituality, we have gone over that technique in the past. What's up, Michelle? Atma Namaste. But it's a super, super powerful technique. You might be able to Google it and find something online. Maybe, maybe not. Here's an interesting thing about Google, and here's an interesting thing about high-level spiritual teachings. High-level spiritual teachings are protected. I'll say that again. High-level spiritual teachings are protected, and they are only able to be revealed to certain people at certain times in history because of the permission the great ones, the ones who are guiding the evolution of the cosmos, give permission. Now, it's not a, well, wait a minute, that person's better than me, or I'm better than that person. It has nothing to do with that. Zero. Big fat zero to do with that. It has to do with one's capability to handle the energies of those teachings. So if you've seen Spider-Man, which I can almost, Fulguni, Atma Namaste, I can almost guarantee you guys have seen Spider-Man. So Spider-Man, one of the famous lines in the movie is, with great power comes great responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. So as we evolve on the spiritual path, as we connect more to our higher selves, we are more empowered to do great things to help other people, to alleviate the suffering and sorrow and the pain of other people, whether it's through our thoughts, our speech, our feelings, or even our actions, right? But if the person who is being empowered doesn't have good character, has a lot of weaknesses, negative tendencies, limiting beliefs, calcified ideas, and they get all this power, what are they going to do with that power? Are they going to use it for good? Or are they going to use it for evil? Right? They're going to use it for good, they're going to use it for evil. Most likely they're going to use it for evil. So high-level spiritual teachings, and some of you may know what I'm talking about, some of you may not know what I'm talking about, those are protected. So you're like, oh yeah, well I'm going to go and find high-level spiritual teachings on Google because Google has all the world's information at my fingertips and I can find everything and anything I ever want to know about Laughing Buddha. Ha 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 ha. Well, most likely you're only going to find bits and pieces of it. So if you have bits and pieces to the technique, right, you're not fully empowered with the technique to either vastly improve your life or protect you from destroying your life, right? With great power comes great responsibility. So Jilly says, hi Christian, high-level spiritual teachings maybe can be taught from within your own teachings. I feel within your own teachings, maybe can be taught from within. Yes. In order for somebody to understand high-level spiritual teachings from within themselves or being presented by a great teacher requires a key component, and the word is discernment. Discernment, discernment, discernment. So discernment means to judge something correctly. To judge something correctly. So I'll give you an example. About 100 years ago, a holy master in Tibet was channeling information through this woman in England known as Alice Bailey. And she has written many, many books on energy healing, esoteric studies, metaphysics, meditation, all of this, right? One sentence of like an Alice Bailey book runs on for, hey Dusty, runs on for like a page. One sentence runs on for a page, and it's so dense and it's almost written in code. Why is it written in code? Because it has very high level spiritual teachings that you could use for good or you could use for not so good. So it requires the person reading the book to be able to discern or to judge correctly what exactly is this person saying? What do they mean? Right? So that takes lifetimes of practice. What's up, Ambika? That takes lifetimes of practice in order to be proficient at discerning something correctly. Think about the way you perceive the world now versus the way you perceive the world as a 5-year-old kid. Right? Would it be fair to put the perception of an adult onto the perception of a 5-year-old child? It wouldn't be fair, right? Because the child is not mentally developed enough and doesn't have awareness and doesn't have discerning abilities in order to judge the world accurately like an adult would. So it's the same thing on the spiritual path. It takes many years and many incarnations and lifetimes in order to develop the ability to discern. Now, am I saying I've mastered discernment? No, absolutely not. I have a very long way to go with discernment, but my ability to discern or to judge something correctly now is light years ahead of where it was 5 years ago. So that requires practice. Because, for instance, on the spiritual path, anyone can say anything about anything, right? So I could say, well, it looks to me that your great-great-grandfather is giving me a message, and the message is you need to quit your job, sell all your property, and sell all your assets, and you need to join the Peace Corps in South Africa, right? If you don't have a level of discernment to go, well, wait a minute, how is that correct? What's the purpose? Is that in alignment with my higher soul, etc., etc., go through a checklist, you would most likely go, all right, sounds good to me. I'm quitting my job, selling all my possessions, and I'm going to South Africa to be part of the Peace Corps, right? So discernment is super, super important on the spiritual path. That's why when I work with clients, I'm always saying, look, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm feeling. This is the track record of your life. This is the patterns that you're falling into. Let me help you. Here's this technique, this tool, this teaching. Now, take this information, apply it into your life, get feedback, and then make your own conclusion. I never say to any of my clients or any of my students, this is the law, this is how it is, and if you don't want to do it, you're wrong. No, because truth has to be validated for somebody to take it as true. So just because it's written in a holy book doesn't make it true. Just because it's taught by a great spiritual teacher doesn't make it true. Just because you had a high-level experience and a meditation doesn't make it true. You have to use your intuitive intelligence as well as your mental intelligence to discern if the information that is presented is accurate or not. Does that make sense? So, spiritual teachings are hiding in plain sight all around us, but we have to develop the ability to practice discernment. We have to have the ability to practice discernment. So again, that requires a lot of effort, a lot of mental, what's up, Megan? A lot of mental and emotional and intuitive faculties to do it properly. So I hope that makes sense. I'll give you another example. So recently, I don't know who it was, but recently somebody bought